Hey guys, so as I was getting increasingly frustrated of not being able to get new Ryzen 5600X CPU and build new PC, I thought maybe I should try cloud gaming. I haven't heard anyone talking about it, especially for Path of Exile, and Path of Exile is known to be the destroyer of performance. So in this video I will show you how Path of Exile looks like while playing through one of the cloud gaming services. Now I have no knowledge about cloud gaming tech and settings, so treat this video like first impression gaming videos where you go with no prior knowledge and just try things out, but for cloud gaming tech. If you feel like I have missed something important, let me know in the comments below. Maybe I will do an updated video and try out some other cloud gaming services if there is enough interest. To start off, I googled list of cloud gaming service providers. Website ubuntupit.com had list of 20 such services. I went through the list checking pricing and availability and other options. I'm from Lithuania, so some of the top cloud gaming services were either unavailable for my country or we had bad connections or high prices for this quick test. I ended up trying Playkey.net, which was 7th on the list, mostly because it did not require me waiting 2 to 3 days for someone to set up dedicated PC for me, and pricing was nice. I could choose how many hours of gameplay I want to buy, perfect for this test run. I was unable to find Playkey hardware specs, but UbuNtuPit website have it listed as the whole service of Playkey.net uses NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1070 8GB GPU, i7 4 cores, 3.5 GHz CPU, 16 gigs of RAM. And I believe the servers are in Russia because I was getting 1 millisecond delay when selecting PoE servers. And of course I am not from Russia, so I was still getting around 40 plus millisecond delay. So this definitely doesn't sound very high end, but it should be more than enough for Path of Exile. I also have 50 megabits per second download and upload speed, and I normally get around 40 to 50 millisecond delay playing Path of Exile, which is a bit higher than recommended for cloud gaming. Anyway, installation was quick and pretty simple. Select the game, connect to Steam account, and you're good to go. To quickly mention, first, I have tried Borderlands 3 and it was running pretty well. I left everything on auto and the game was capped at 60 FPS max, and it was running alright at higher settings. FPS stayed between 50 and 60 during very short test run. Delay during Borderlands 3 gameplay felt really bad. I could hardly aim, so my hopes for Path of Exile were pretty low. And you know how Borderlands 3 had some bad performance problems when it was released, and it still is not perfectly optimized game, and then comes Path of Exile and says to Borderlands 3, you have bad performance issues? Hold my beer. Launching Path of Exile and seeing game loading one asset at a time made me feel better about my own PC, because it is not just my PC having all sorts of issues with Path of Exile. Game loads, I checked some in-game settings and crowd game settings, changed couple in-game settings to match what I normally use. One thing that I noticed after launching PoE multiple times with cloud gaming is that it didn't seem to save my game settings, and I had to change options each time. First I left most of the things the same, it was DirectX 11. Also for some reason I was either getting around 30 FPS or 60 FPS each time I launched the game, not sure why. So I opened first map, and you know what? It didn't really feel bad. The delay that I felt when I tried playing Borderlands 3 was way worse. You can still feel the delay between clicking something and sounds going off, but it felt actually playable. Playing normal maps felt fine, so I thought I need to up intensity. So I opened a map with delirium, and performance tanks immediately. But that always happens when game first tries to load new things. I have also noticed that dynamic resolution was active, which I normally disable because it just had way too many issues with performance, but I kept this setting this time. Despite performance hiccups, the game still felt playable, or maybe I'm just so used to having very bad random performance issues. At the end of this video you're also gonna see how the game looks on my own PC, which I think overall was better, but I think it's just my lucky day today that the game runs pretty well. But then again I have to use pretty low settings when I'm streaming. So a bit later I checked some frequently asked questions and checked some settings suggestions, changed 1 or 2 settings, launched the game again, and after seeing 60 FPS in game I wanted to push intensity even more, so I opened tier 16 beachhead map, Harbinger was always good at destroying performance. Also, as you can see, I found out you can enable stream console for some extra information, but I have no idea what most of that means. Maybe it will be useful for those who understand. I know it may be hard to see, and normally I play games in 1080p, but I stream at 720p and I record videos at 1080p but downscale it as well to 720p. However, this time I will keep it at 1080p to hopefully better display what the game looked during cloud gaming. Not sure how this will look on YouTube. Anyway, Harbinger map was pretty brutal and was destroying performance, and the build I was using wasn't ready for tier 16 maps, so I switched to my old summoner build. Also, like I said, for some reason cloud gaming was not saving PoE settings, and at first game was having more bloom than my eyes are used to, which I lowered to 25% later on. As you can see, performance was not good as I tried changing couple in-game settings and it crashed as usual for PoE. It didn't seem to really change anything, so I have changed from DirectX 11 to Vulkan just to see what would happen. Restarted the game, tried again, but performance was pretty bad anyway. So instead I opened a normal map again. You can sometimes see graphical glitches, tearing and big chunks of blocks, but honestly that doesn't really bother me much. Performance during normal map seems alright, and even if it drops to 30 FPS, you are still essentially seeing just a video being streamed to your PC. Overall, my first impression left me with mixed feelings. Maybe for PoE you do need to look for cloud gaming service with very high-end game hardware if you want to have a smoother gameplay. Delay is always going to be there, but for PoE delay did not feel as bad as for Borderlands 3, and I assume for other FPS and racing games it may not feel pleasant. However, I think this could be a viable option for those who don't want to buy a new PC and don't have much time to play it. Just make sure service provider have some serious rig if you want to play Path of Exile. Some services are cheaper than others and they may fit you better. Some even claim you can play AAA games on your phone. That's going to be all for this quick first impression. I can't shake the feeling that I chose the wrong cloud gaming service provider for this test for the first impression, so maybe I will try another service. Let me know in the comments below which cloud gaming service should I try, and if there is enough interest I will try it out. Thank you for watching and I will see you in the next video.